in this era right now, like what are we even talking about with AI, right?
Exactly. We just thought of something, put something together, and here we are to talk about AI.
Yeah,
That's
man.
awesome, man. Looking
Yeah.
good.
So tell everyone who you are, man.
All right. My name is Sash Mohapatra. I am a technologist. I spent 20 years in Microsoft. Chris and I used to work together. And for the past couple of years, I've been educating individuals and teams on AI. I run an applied AI course on Maven. I also build products. I built a SaaS product called Polsey, and I just experiment with random things with AI. And it's been a lot of fun building with AI. I never knew how to code, but now it's quite liberating. What about you, Chris? Introduce yourself.
No, I love it, man. I came from the world of building like you, right? I've been a technologist. I've been building my whole career. I remember my first like when I first like made it big, I guess if you will. My career took off is when a former customer director, when I was working consulting, asked me. She said, "Chris, can you do Ruby on Rails?" And I had never heard of what Ruby on Rails is before. Never in my life had I heard it. But in that moment, I said, "Yeah, I can do it." And I
Yeah.
went to Barnes and Noble that day, and I bought a book, and I was on the road, so I picked up some takeouts and like just lived in that book and in my laptop for the rest of the night, the next couple of weeks, and I figured it out. And for me, that was like she didn't want to know if I could do it then, right? She wanted to know if I could actually do it when it mattered. And like
Yeah.
I feel like that's been my life, man. I took a detour and I was at Microsoft for 8 years. I thought I was a seller. It was
Yeah.
fun to sell, right? I like the seller money, but if anything, I realized in these last couple of months, I'm still that builder. That's
Yeah.
who I am, right? Had my AI moment, and I feel like now all I'm doing is running my life with AI, man. It's incredible. So I work for a Microsoft partner now called iLink Digital, helping to kind of lead their AI transformation. I run their FSI practice after my 8 years at Microsoft FSI. So what we're talking about here is how I run my life, right? It's how I run my life. It's how I do my work. How can we use everything we're doing and what we're going to talk about to just move faster, right?
Yeah.
Dev
Yeah.
life cycles have changed. How we go to market with products have changed. How we manage our lives changed. And I don't know about you, man, but like once I had my moment, nothing's ever going to be the same.
I agree. I agree.
Yeah.
I think I've kind of been on that same journey, and being a systems engineer working on customers' data centers back in the day to cloud, we were always building, but I never knew how to code. And the past year or so, I just dove in and realized that I can build things, and it's been fascinating.
Crazy, right?
It's bananas. And we're here, and I'm also going to talk about a system that runs my life. Literally, it runs
Yeah.
everything across all the businesses I have my hands in. And it has just been liberating. And the fact that you and I kind of connected after a while, and our first thread was building, and we were on the phone just going 100 directions
I know.
for like 20 minutes. And then this came about, and we're like, we should do this. And
Let's
then
do it.
his Claude code found a name, built the website, and then we just dove in. I didn't have the streaming setup. We
Yeah.
asked Claude to install it, and here we are.
We
And we're gonna,
figured it out, man. We figured it
yeah,
out. So
figure it
hey,
out.
why don't you actually show what you've been doing, right? Like why don't you I'm going to swift over to your screen here and take it away, man.
All right, all right. So I kind of run this system I call Nuro. And if you follow my LinkedIn posts, I talk a lot about it. It's based on Cloud Code. It kind of started as me just experimenting and understanding Cloud
Mhm.
Code, and then it became a an agent that basically helps me run my life. And I had my Cloud Code moment about 3 or 4 months ago, and I was just blown away by what it can do. And I don't use it to code at all. I use Replit to build stuff, but Claude Code basically is my personal assistant, runs my life. The way it's set up, I use Claude Code over the API, and I have a context infrastructure which is on my Mac. So if you guys use Claude Code, Claude.md is your master identity file. That's where all the information about me, my projects, how it should function, how it should interact with me, all that sit. Then there's a Claude managed memory, and then I have a bunch of working files on my computer, and they're organized based on projects. Now, it's connected to a bunch of tools where my information lives. So it has access to my email, Granola for meeting notes. It has access to N8N. So if I need to build automations, I just get Claude Code to build it. And it has access to like search in different modes. It uses Perplexity, Exa, which go beyond it web search. So, and if you've heard, agents now need to have skills, and skills are the way to go. And I have a bunch of skills. So if you follow me on LinkedIn and you have signed up for my newsletter, though both the Thursday and the Sunday edition of the newsletter are written with Claude. Sunday one is fully automated. Nuro writes it. And then I basically manage all my comms, social, my Maven course writing, all the outreach for Polsey, everything.
What
Uh,
don't you do, man?
all right, let's see. So I run it in the terminal. I think, Chris, you use Ghosty as well, which I think is my favorite terminal to run it on Mac. And it's set up just fairly simply. It runs under a single folder called Intelligence, where all of my files and folders are organized according to projects, and everything is written into MD files. And the Claude.md, which is the master kind of index file, uh, with all the rules, tells Claude where to find what and where to write what. And it can go anywhere simple from accessing my email, responding in my tone, voice, to connecting to Granola and accessing my meeting transcripts to write proposals for clients, whatnot. If I just give you a quick view into how everything is configured. So if you guys use the /context command, I highly recommend. And it shows you a list of all the tools it has available. So I have various tools connected over MCP, and I also have various skills. So these are all the user-based skills I use. Now, skills are repeatable workflows, so I run them once, and some of them are scheduled as well. For example, the Sunday edition's newsletter skill runs Saturday night, writes a file, puts it into the folder on my Mac, and sends me a message in Slack for review. I review it, send it back, and then it can actually fire up the email. So basically, I've been trying to automate my entire life with it. And it's working so far. It's always a work in progress. I constantly try to stack skills and stack tools. And I talk a lot about it in my social posts as well. What about you, Chris? I know you use Cloud Code as well.
Yeah, no, I love this, right? Like, and for clarity, neither of us have seen.
Each other's systems.
This is the first time that I've seen Sasha's system. We've chatted about it. I think we intentionally were like, I don't actually want to see how you do it until this, right? It's just sort of cool to see because, so this idea came. It's something I've kind of been thinking about for a while, and Sasha and I talked about this. I feel like there's so many of us that have the same job title, but none of us work the same, like at all, right? So this was sort of just like, how can there be a way for us to just talk about the cool stuff we're doing, right?
Yeah.
Like what is one trick that has made your life different, right? And so the idea first was just kind of business productivity. Is there an Outlook rule system that you have to keep your inbox cleaned? Is
Yeah.
there a dashboard that you view every morning? Is there something not related to work, but like you spend the first 10 minutes of your day doing these things and you know your day is going to be crap if you don't do it, right? Like anything, come on and talk about it. So we kind of pivoted that to AI, right? Like Sasha and I feel like we're spending way more time in a day than like our friends and family like want us to. But
Yeah.
like, what was great about this for us is all these ideas that we've had over the last 10 or 15 years. Like, wouldn't it be cool if an app could do this or a site could do that? Like, you couldn't do them. And now it's like, but we can do them. And it's kind of
Yeah.
easy. And like, I don't
Yeah.
want to stop doing them. Right.
Yeah.
And so it's cool to see this, like thinking about me, you asked what was the terminal I use. Like, so I run Windows, man. I just use I have Ubuntu. I don't even know how it's pronounced. No, it's spelled. I have like WSL2 installed on my Windows device, so I can run like an Ubuntu shell, and then I just SSH into my Mac Mini and run everything there. So again, similar to Sash, like my life is it lives on this Mac Mini, right? So my main kind of productivity system is I call it TheGrove. Just tend to your life wisely. And so for here, I've kind of split it up into various domains. So I have like a site domain that will manage the Grove.pro. I have a system domain which will manage like the backend infrastructure. I have one for my LLC, the Grove LLC, and then I have other domains. I have one for my mental health. I have one for life admin around the house. I have one for work, and it sort of just helps me categorize everything. And so for me, for example, whenever I log in the first time, first when I sit down in a day, I'll just hit slash backlog site. So slash backlog is a skill I defined that just says, hey, like what are all the tasks that I've randomly kind of thought about and kind of stored in here for this site domain. Um, I've got ADHD and like my mind is constantly going places, and so I've kind of built this system to what I call like protect me from me. Don't
Mm.
let me get attracted to the shiny object. Force me to manage everything through like an SDLC, even the non work related stuff here. So this is kind of coming to pull and says, hey, you've scoped this out in this next version. Here are some other things that you've deferred. And so like if I want to kick this off, I can just say, hey, scope, do thread fix plus the your day skill plus voice rules. And just like Sash, right, I've got a bunch of skills defined. My SDLC for this is just scope, plan, build, test, close. And then
Nice.
for other systems where I have, like for ours that we have for human in the loop, same manage, right? Since there's more than one user, more than one builder, we have additional like staging,
Yeah.
domain branches, right?
Yeah.
But the core of it is this. So this will kind of kick off just a scope. It'll gather what those are, stores in a document DB database, everything, and it'll pull it together and it'll generate a scoping document. And then when that's done, right, I'll just go to kind of plan. And so I've got all these various agents. So like for one, I've got a Super Chris agent. Who
Mhm.
are you? And so Super Chris was just like, hey, what are all the things that I'm good at, but also be good at all the things that I'm not. Um, and so it just kind of helps know for me, right? I've got ones for um, work domains, right? Front end specialist, back end specialist, a designer. I have a red team breaker skill that I'll just kind of throw at, he has that agent has no context, but during the test phase, go try to break things. I have a newcomer agent as well, similar mindset to red team that's just living off, not doing anything. Who knows what these agents are doing when they're not working? Like we got to start tracking these agents.
Uh,
But like same thing, this newcomer will say, "Hey, go look at your site, pretend that you know nothing about it. Like what doesn't make sense?" And so all these are sort of just built into processes, right? Every one of my skill sprints, as I call it, creates a document.
mhm.
Everything is automatically pushed to GitHub, so I can go in here and I can say, "Hey, like for the Grove, what are all my domains?"
Yeah.
Co-parent. I got a co-parenting one in there to help make sure that my ex and I have a good communication system with our son. But I can go into site here. I can go into sprints for all of my completed sprints that I've done. Like it already has kind of created this. What does this scope look like? What it is, why, acceptance criteria. And so this is just sort of helps me. It forces me to slow down. It
Yeah.
forces me to like really slow down and to make sure that I'm not again distracted by the shiny thing. So I've used
Yeah.
this. I use it at work all the time. I have email automation systems. When a transcription of a call ends, I have Claude take that, have it summarized in the notes tool that I built with Claude, call out the
Mhm.
attendees, call out top commitments, and then automatically send that over if I want. Right? It's just fun, man. It's fun
It
to be
is.
able to like do all these, executing all these ideas that we've had, and just do them at a pace that I've never been able to.
That's
Um,
so
so
I think kind of what's common between our systems is you've got a central agent that is connected to your tools that understands who you are, what you're working on, and then
exactly.
it's got a team of agents that are
Exactly.
specialized, and then you can fire them up as you need to, and they have
Yeah.
very specific jobs. Some of them run automated on schedules. Some of
Mhm.
them are on demand only. That's actually very similar to my system as well. I think I use skills a lot, and I've got very specific agents. One thing you also push it to Git. I actually have all my folder structure pushed to Git,
Same.
and if you show my switch the scene to my screen for a second,
Yeah.
I wanted to run the same folder structure across two Macs. So I push it to Git and both the Macs are in sync. And as you can see, two people have access to this Git, me and Nuro, which is the cloud agent. So if I move from one Mac to other, if I have a new skill that I built over there, push it to Git, pull it from the other Mac, you're always in sync. And it just makes for working easy. And slowly, I think we're getting to a point, I'm sure you've experienced this,
Oh yeah.
where you can just now send commands on either Slack. I think we're now on a Telegram group building the
We
HIT
are.
site, and there's an agent in there, Chris's agent,
Yeah.
who's just
On
slacking everything.
on the same thing. I just went ahead and said, "Hey, execute a brief." That's a skill that I have, and just say, hey, execute a brief on this episode. And our agent Echo, which will be on our site soon to help you search through what we talk about, just send a brief over. Hey, what's happening? What are episodes? What's coming next? And again, trying to use AI to track all of our stuff and make
Pretty
it
much.
easy.
And this was sort of like a preview of what we're working on
Yeah.
using. And we're going to use HITL to show you specific hacks, tips, tricks, and stuff we learn. And it's going to be messy because we're going to do it live. We're going
That's
to
it.
do it live.
And it's not going to be like an hour long, right? We're already over by 1 minute today, which we'll try to get better at, right? But it's Friday afternoon, man. 15 minutes. No one has time. Everyone's busy. So
Yeah.
if this is up your alley, come hang out with us, man. If you ever want to come talk on here, if you have a killer idea, listen. Like all I want to do is learn. And I think if we're using AI right now, how can we use AI to do the stuff that we don't like so we can spend the time doing stuff that we do like? And for me, that's with other people. So if you have something you want to talk about, come on. We'd love to have you.
Absolutely. So sign up on humanintheloop.stream. Every Friday, you get an email from Nuro with the live link. Join in, share, put your comments in the LinkedIn feed as well. If you have questions, we're happy to answer.
Yeah. Appreciate y'all. Have a good weekend. Thanks for tuning in, Sash. This was awesome, man. See you next Friday.
Happy weekend, everybody. All right.
Happy weekend. See y'all.